Today we're doing the top 20-ish Christmas films. I couldn't exactly wrap it up to 20, so it's like 23, 24. Should have been 25 days for 25 days of Christmas. Since this is on Christmas, it's like 20-ish. So let's jump right in. Number 1 and 2 should be together. Let's just say they are. Home Alone, great Christmas classic. Probably the one you think of when you think of Christmas. Just such a classic. The John Williams score, the direction, Macaulay Culkin is fantastic. In the role, Marv, of course, Daniel Stern, Joe Pesci, in a role that he was not known for at the time. He was more, Goodfellas, breaking people with bats. This was kind of a new take on his actor persona, if you will. So that was fun. Just the whole movie warms you with Christmas. There's a lot of action, there's suspense, there's comedy with the pizza and the spilled milk. They're late for the airport. Just so many classic lines. And one we'll put here. Keep the change, you filthy animal. There's so many you could do. That leads us to the second one, which is Home Alone 2, Escape from New York. Now this is kind of not a shot-for-shot remake, but it has the same beats as the first one. The power goes out again. They're late for the flight. He has a big fight with the family the night before. He doesn't want to go. He does make it to the airport this time, which was a change. But instead of going with them, he goes to New York because he's following a guy that looks like he's dead. So, different things. And then the characters in this one really add a new dimension. Of course, the icon, Tim Curry, at his best. The bird lady kind of replaces the old man. And, it's good. I don't know if it has the same impact for me, but it's doable. Then the toy guy, they try and break in, and he of course saves the day. It's at his dad's cousin, so they're second cousins, I guess. So Home Alone 2 kind of retreads the same as the first one, but there's enough of a difference there to make it a classic. Then we have, of course, It's a Wonderful Life, one that we watch every year. In fact, we watched it last week on TV, because that's one that they kind of broadcast no matter what station every Christmas. So that's a good, heartfelt one about what is a life worth. He doesn't think he has anybody that will miss him, but of course at the end, spoilers, it's like it came out a while ago, but at the end he realizes that he has so much, so many friends, so people that want to help him. So such a good movie. A Christmas Story, not one that I watch every year for Christmas, but it is the quintessential Christmas film told through kind of the narration of the guy as he's reliving his Christmas childhood. So that's a unique Christmas film. Of course, the tongue scene, he sticks his tongue on the ice pole, shooting his eye out with the BB gun, all that, meeting Santa, all that is great. The lamp, I wish I had that lamp. That's a cool lamp. Next one is Jingle All the Way, Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, who was hot during this time. He kind of cooled off after the mid 2000s, but this was kind of his time. Jingle All the Way, First Kid, House Guest, so many great films, and Sinbad is fantastic. I don't care who you are, he's funny. I wish he would do more stuff, but I guess he's kind of doing the comedy scene. I don't know. Comment down below if you know where Sinbad is now. Then Gremlins, of course, Joe Dante, filmed on the Warner Brothers backlot. We actually went, and it was, they pointed out the locations of Gremlins. Of course, the hub is kind of in a lot of stuff. Scrooge, Bill Murray, maybe not a well-known Bill Murray movie, maybe kind of underrated as far as Bill Murray performances. There's a lot out there. What About Bob, one of my favorite Bill Murray films, Groundhog Day, of course, but Scrooge kind of takes the Christmas story and kind of twists it a little bit. He's kind of like he's like a movie TV producer, right? So that's a good twist on it. Then we have The Holiday, Jack Black, Jude Law, Charlize Theron. Great film. We used to watch that every year, and we still watch it maybe every other year. But a great film where they switch. One goes to the UK, one goes to LA, and they kind of get a fresh start, kind of a refresh on their lives. So that's fun. Christmas with the Cranks, we do watch every year, and some people might not like it, but it is a very underrated Tim Allen film where he kind of wants to not do Christmas. He wants to go on a cruise, but ultimately he learns the true meaning of Christmas, giving, sacrifice, community. So ultimately he learns his lesson, but there's kind of some hijinks along the way. Then we have Elf. And how could you not have a top 20 or 20-ish Christmas films with it, not including Elf? This one screams Christmas and Will Ferrell screams Christmas a bunch in this movie. And just some of the shots, the shot where he's going through New York, that guy in the red jumpsuit is not a paid actor. They kind of did the guerrilla style where you kind of just film it and see what happens, and they got some great stuff with that guy. So neat to think about what filmmakers do to get kind of the magic in the bottle, if you will. Then we have Krampus, the one horror movie that's on here, but a horror movie. There's a bunch of horror movies set in Christmas time or around Christmas, but I felt like this was kind of the one that kind of encapsulated Christmas with a horror spin. The gingerbread man, Krampus himself on the rooftop like Santa, just so many great things, great scenes. Then we have Noel, which is on Disney Plus. One I wasn't expecting a lot from, but really, really great film. Anna Kendrick goes on this mission to kind of help find her brother, and just along the way gets into some stuff. And the reindeer, which you'll see here, is just adorable. And then Last Christmas, one that kind of, if you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it, but there's kind of a dark undertone on the there's a Christmas, but then that's kind of pitted against this story. Once you find out the end, oh, it just kind of breaks you a little bit. But the film is a great film. One I wasn't expecting to be that good. You know, there's these kind of cheesy rom-com films that you kind of cookie cutter, but this was a very unique take on Christmas. And I'll just say that if you haven't seen it. Nightmare Before Christmas, a great, they call it a Disney classic now, but we all know that Disney did not release it. Well, they had their parent company release it, Buena Vista, and then now it's a Disney classic. I will say the Disneyland overlay of Haunted Mansion, which is Nightmare Before Christmas, is fantastic. I wish we had that in Disney World, because they do a new gingerbread house every year in the kind of the ballroom scene. Incredible film. Not a Disney classic, but that's okay. Disney eventually, you know, they did make it through their other company. And Tim Burton did help, but he was doing Batman Returns later on in this list. Next up, we have Die Hard, which some might consider controversial to be on a Christmas list, but even Die Hard, or I guess Fox themselves, now owned by Disney, so we'll see. But the packaging recently has had a lot of Christmas elements on it, so they've leaned into the Christmas movie theme, and it is a Christmas movie. He goes to a Christmas party. It's around Christmas. There's Christmas elements with the ho ho ho, which we'll see, and other things. It's a Christmas film. If you don't, comment down below if you disagree and tell me why it's not a Christmas film. All film is subjective. We all know that. People like or dislike certain things, but it is around Christmas, so it has Christmas elements. Great action, great one-liners by Bruce Willis. Just a great film. John McTiernan will go on. He would not film the second one, Die Harder, which you could have done better maybe with that title, but he would come back and do the third one, Die Hard with a Vengeance, which was originally a Lethal Weapon film until they went in their direction. So Die Hard took the mantle. It was, I think, supposed to be something else too. What was a standalone Simon Says until, I guess, Lethal Weapon passed on and Die Hard took the reins. Then we have The Ref, which maybe some of you have not seen. If you haven't seen it, go immediately and watch it. But that's kind of a looser one because that's around Christmas time, but they do talk about Christmas in the film. But it's a film that kind of surprised me because I was way late to that party. I didn't watch it until maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So a relatively new film that I've seen. Not new in that sense. It was in the late 90s, but new to me. Then the Nick Cage classic, The Family Man. Again, a film where he kind of wonders what his life would be. He ultimately sees what his life would have been with this girl that he kind of passed on to pursue his career. And just such a great message and theme of Christmas in that. Then we have Holiday Inn and White Christmas. Now, I don't know about you, but I get both of these totally confused. The same two actors in the film, they're surrounded by Christmas elements. They sing, they dance. Kind of hard to separate the two films, but they're both all-time classic Christmas films. I watched White Christmas in England, so shout out to Sav, my UK friend. I did watch White Christmas. Let's see. Actually, we did it around Christmas. Not entirely Christmas, because we came back before Christmas, kind of like the 15th or so. So right before Christmas, we watched it with my classmates. Then Tim Burton at his best. Batman Returns, such a great film. Gotham, just that the Christmas tree lining scene, just such a fantastic scene. The big Christmas box comes out, the girl lights the tree, Catwoman comes in. Again, another one people don't think of as maybe a Christmas film, but it has Christmas elements. Fantastic. Probably still my favorite Batman film. I will say that, yes. You might have Batman v Superman before it. No judgments here, but mine is Batman Returns, definitely, for now. That might change. Who knows? The Batman looks pretty good. Probably won't be as good as Returns, but we'll see. Then, While You Were Sleeping, another one maybe you wouldn't think of as a Christmas film. Sandra Bullock at her best, kind of the peak of her popularity, just pumping out films. But this one probably gets overlooked a lot of times, but a great film. The guy she likes goes into a coma, and kind of with a mix-up, they think that she's his fiance, and she kind of has to carry on this lie or misunderstanding the whole film. And it's a great film. Go and see it. Then Just Friends, Ryan Reynolds movie. Again, not a film people think of as a Ryan Reynolds film, but a great comedy, and it also is around Christmas time. So why not have, I didn't want the same 20 films that other people have. Everybody's going to have Home Alone on their list, but not everybody's going to have Just Friends and While You Were Sleeping. So for ones that I watch around Christmas time, maybe not Just Friends every Christmas, but then, of course, an all-time Christmas classic, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, probably the best vacation film. Some might think The First Vacation, but I really enjoy Christmas Vacation. Him trying to light the house, setting the place on fire, Cousin Eddie, just so much great things going on there. And around Christmas time, being with family, we all know that kind of back and forth with relatives and stuff. So just a good Christmas film. Well, that was all the Christmas films I have. Comment down below if you have a Christmas film that I did not mention or, overlooked. Merry Christmas, everyone, and until next time, until the next year, keep collecting.